Hey guys, today I'm going to tell you about how I gave a TEDx talk at 19. Now last year in December, I went and gave a TEDx Youth Talk and it looked like this.
If you do like a talk, please do not hesitate.
So that was backstage and my talk looked like this. It's there on the official TEDx YouTube channel.
And I have a solid reason about why you should work towards your idea. Like, if you like art, go become an artist. I mean, why are you wasting time? If you like YouTube, go become a YouTuber. What's stopping you? And within a month, my house smelled like solid shit.
Alright, so enough of flex. Now, giving a TEDx talk is not a big deal. On an average, the TEDx YouTube channel uploads like 5 videos every single day. So it's safe to assume that every single day across the world, there are 5 TEDx talks happening. And even Tai Lopez gave a talk at TEDx, so I think it's really not a big deal. But for an average student like me who has almost zero accomplishments in life, giving a TEDx talk was the biggest deal of my life. First things first, initially I'll be explaining you what TED is, what TEDx is, and then I'll be telling you how you guys can give a TEDx talk if you ever want to. And in the middle, I'll be telling you why I was selected to give a talk, and then we'll sum it up. I know this video is a bit off from my usual track, but just take it guys. I think it'll be useful. You might end up giving a TEDx talk in the future, who knows. Alright, so let's start with what TED is. Okay, so TED is an entity that organizes all these talks. It's independent and they organize TED Talks. So they have a separate channel, and TED Talks is for like really superior people like Shah Rukh Khan, Bill Gates speak at TED. Now TED has a franchisee called TEDx. Now anyone can organize a TEDx event. Even I can organize a TEDx event if I get the license. Remember, TED is for profit. So TED has the right to make profit. But TEDx is not for profit. So no one benefits of a TEDx speech. It's just for popularity maybe. So if you're organizing a TEDx talk, then you can't make profit of it. The organizers cannot profit. And even the speakers aren't paid. They have to voluntarily come in and give a talk. So in my case, it was a TEDx youth event organized by a school called Ashoka Universal School. So these guys applied for the TEDx license and got the license. Now let me tell you how I got an opportunity to speak at TEDx. Short answer, I got lucky. Long answer, keep watching. So like when I was a kid, I used to work on a lot of projects. There's a site called Instructables. I'm wearing its t-shirt, and Instructables has a lot of projects, a lot of tutorials, a lot of competitions happening. And I used to participate in a lot of them. I used to like to build stuff and submit it as a project over there. And I won a competition called Makerspace. We were among the top 10 global teams. And I also won a contest called Solar Contest, where I made like a solar powered incubator or something, and those things worked out pretty well. Now when I was in my 12th grade, I've told you guys that I did not go for a coaching, right? I went to a real school. Now there I also applied abroad, so I had to get my letters of recommendation, stuff like that written. और also मैंने पिछले वीडियोस में बताया था कि I was involved in extracurriculars. जैसे मैंने एक incubator बनाया था. Incubator is basically a styrofoam box. इसमें temperature control होता है and you can hatch chicken eggs in it. I hatched 4 eggs and I had chickens in my house for a month. So that's something that I did in my 7th grade, but I had that project in hand, and also I designed an app, like a random app, and I presented it at IIT Bombay. I had few extracurriculars to show, and Sima ma'am was the person who wrote my letters of recommendation. Now Sima ma'am was my English teacher and one of the best teachers I've ever met. She's very supportive, and one of the reasons why I gave the TEDx talk, I mean she's the reason I gave the TEDx talk in the first place. And Sima ma'am knew me very well because of the projects that I did. Now, because of this, I also scored pretty well in my boards, 95.6, and also got into bits, which apparently is a big deal. And because of all these things, Sima ma'am and I stayed in touch even after I graduated high school. Now comes the interesting part, right? So Ashoka Universal School was organizing a TEDx talk, and they're looking for speakers, right? So a few of the speakers were Ajinkya. Ajinkya is a student from Harvard. He's done a lot of things. He runs a huge community of students, thousands of students, and they're working on big problems of climate change. They're working with government. And then there was a person called Clint Swagrees. He's a VJ. He's been on MTV and a lot of international stuff. He's done more than 1,000 shows. He has 133,000 followers on Instagram. Then there was Hazi Kazi. He was working on environmental problems. Earlier, he had given talks in New York City. He had given a talk at TED New York City. And then there was a director, Bollywood director called Atul Manjrekar. They were insane people. And then it was me. I don't know how it happened, but I think they were running short of a speaker and they were looking for one more speaker to fill the gap. And because I knew Sima ma'am well, and because Sima ma'am knew about my projects, and also because I was from the same school, she thought it would be a good idea to fit me in because the students would be able to relate because I'm from the same school and I've worked on a few things and bits. So yeah, that's how I got selected. So I had an interview, and after the interview, I think they liked what I said, what I would be talking about in the talk. And after the interview, it was time for the talk. To be honest, I started preparing for the TEDx talk a night before the event. And if you've seen the talk, I say the word right like a million times, and I don't know why. That's something I still regret. Like after every single sentence, I'm like right, 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 right. And that was the first time I was ever getting royal treatment. A car came to pick me up. I was escorted. I went to fancy dinners at fancy places, and then this thing also, they gave me a memorabilia. It's a picture of me. And I'm self-obsessed and I pretty much like it. Thanks a lot Ashoka if you're watching this. It's an amazing thing. That was it, and TEDx talk got over, and in my talk I mostly spoke about the projects that I worked on, and I also spoke about freelancing. I was like, why freelancing is the future of work, why you should be freelancing, the advantages of freelancing. Go watch it, man. I'm not going to explain it. Alright, so now let me tell you how you can give a TEDx talk if you ever want to. There are two things, right? One is getting invited, and the second one is you guys going and approaching. So Ajinkya, who was one of my fellow speakers, it was his 5th TEDx talk, right? So he was quite experienced, and I asked him, bro, how do you go and give so many TEDx talks? Do you get invited? And he was like, no, I emailed them. So if you go to TEDx's website, you can see who's organizing a TEDx talk, and accordingly you can contact the organizers. Like on the TEDx website, it will tell you who the organizer is. So if you think you have a compelling story to go and present, then what you do is you go to the TEDx website and you pick up the organizer's name and directly contact them saying, hey, I know you're organizing a TEDx talk and I think I have a compelling story that I can share with people. Would you like to have me over? And that's it. If they think they'll mostly have an interview with you, and if they are convinced, then you give a TEDx talk. So that's the easy way around. But I would say work hard and do something amazing and get invited rather than reaching out to them. That's my 2 cents on this. Alright, so before I conclude, I would like to thank Ashoka Universal School. It's not an ad. I genuinely owe a lot to you guys, and I'll make sure that I make you proud someday. See you guys. Hope some of you give TEDx talk, and if you do, then do send me the link. Bye bye. Take care. Next video is gonna be about bits, maybe, because that's the only thing I get views for.